a favorite vegetable? I do, Shay. My favorite vegetable is carrots. Yummy! I love carrots too, but my favorite vegetable is cucumbers. Cucumbers are good also. Why do you want to know my favorite vegetable, Shay? Well, because our next guest wrote a book about vegetables, and it's titled Vegetable Kids in the Garden. Oh, that sounds like a very good book. Let's listen to Vegetable Kids in the Garden. Oh, and don't forget to click that like button down there, kiddos, so you can subscribe and not miss any of the fun things on Hearts Like Kids, where kids shine bright.
Hi, kids. Welcome. Guess what time it is? It's story time. Yay! And it's winter here in New York, but somebody is already dreaming about having green grass and my vegetable garden, because I love to garden. So today, to inspire me and you, I've invited Nancy Miller to read her book, Vegetable Kids in the Garden. So let's listen as Nancy tells us all about her book. Welcome, Nancy. And what was the inspiration for your book?
My inspiration, I actually started with vegetable personality styles, learning about vegetable colors and textures and how wonderful they are, and then just seeing how nutritious they are. I actually started out as a child not liking vegetables. And then I found that if I fixed them the way I like them, I like vegetables a lot, raw, blended in my favorite foods, and I like getting out in the garden and picking vegetables. And in California, where I am, it's like spring here. We're going to have some 70-degree weather and things are starting to bloom, and I'm starting to think about the garden and all my favorite vegetables.
Awesome. I love that. I wish it was 70 degrees here in New York, but it's still a little on the chilly side. So I am excited to learn more about your book, and let's go ahead and share it with the boys and girls here on Hearts Like Kids, where kids shine bright. Oh, and before I forget, if you love this program, don't forget to click that like button right down there and subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss our books and our activities and our crafts and all the fun things we have here. So take it away, Nancy.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy to share my book, Vegetable Kids in the Garden, and for you to meet the vegetable kids. And you're going to see some vegetable personality styles, treasures in the garden. And if you read this with your family, you may get some ideas for how to enjoy vegetables the way you like them. In fact, I've got my little vegetable on my shirt. Things are the opposite. My green bean, it's saying, I'm thinking. That's the green bean personality style. So I'm going to read my story to you, and I'm very excited about it. First, we're going to meet Lucas. Lucas sat on the warm, soft ground and watched Grandpa break up the hard clods of dirt and add compost for the garden. Lucas and Grandpa planted the tomato plants that they bought at the nursery. Grandpa left plenty of loose soil for planting more vegetables. When they were ready to plant the seeds, Lucas was so excited he almost dropped the seed packets in the damp grass as he carried them to the garden. He knelt down and carefully poked the little seeds into the dirt and covered them with a thin layer of soil. He and Grandpa planted pepper, carrot, green beans, seeds. Lucas stood up and brushed the dirt from his hands. He saw Nana filling a watering can with a hose so he could gently water the garden. But look at Lucas. He had other ideas. Can I have the
Mhm.
hose? Asked Lucas. Lucas picked up the hose with both hands and turned on the water. At 6 years old, Lucas was careful, but the water splashed across his face, pants, and all over his shoes as it sprayed out of the nozzle. Oh, exclaimed Lucas as the cold water dripped off short blonde hair and onto his glasses. Let's try this instead, said Lucas, chuckling as she handed the watering can to Lucas. Wipe off your glasses and let's finish watering. Why are we planting a garden? Lucas asked. You said God made the vegetables, so why do we need to plant them? You are always very curious and full of questions, Lucas, Nana said. God made plants and vegetables that grew in the warm soil and produced seeds. The seeds grew into more vegetables. If we want the seeds to produce tasty food, we need to take care of them. Each plant is special, Lucas, just like you, she added. How? Asked Lucas. Some have big seeds. Do you see the big seeds in the picture, like the green beans? And some have very small seeds. Those are the purple carrots. Each one has important nutrients. What are nutrients? Asked Lucas. Nutrients are vitamins and minerals which help you grow strong and healthy, said Nana. Each kind of vegetable has its own color, flavor, and nutrients. They all have their own special way of growing, just like you, Lucas. The sun dropped over the horizon, and Lucas knew it was time to go home. So the next day, Emma's long brown hair whisked across her face as she rode her new red bicycle to her grandparents' house to see Lucas. She waved to the neighbors across the street as she pedaled as fast as she could on her red bicycle and waved at the neighbors. When she walked into the kitchen, red-faced and thirsty, Lucas was already there. Let's go to the store and buy vegetables for dinner, Nana said to them. Why are we buying vegetables? Asked Lucas as he gulped a glass of water. We already planted some. It will take time for the seeds to grow into vegetables, Nana answered. When Lucas, Emma, and Nana got to the store, they headed straight for the vegetables. Fresh are best, said Emma. Come on, Lucas, let's find vegetables from each vegetable color, purple, orange, green, and red. After buying lots of yummy, colorful vegetables, they loaded the car and headed home. Emma and Lucas put away the groceries while Nana cooked dinner. After a busy day at school, Emma spotted Lucas. Hey, where are you going? She called. Wait for me. You're not going by yourself. She grabbed her red bicycle and took off after him. She pedaled her bike up the small hill as fast as she could and caught up with Lucas. Being 5 years older, she felt responsible for her cousin, who often had a mind of his own. At the edge of the park, they saw their friends Dylan and Zoe. Hey, Lucas, called Dylan. What are you? Let's go, interrupted Zoe. She was a barrel of energy, and her 7-year-old twin, Dylan, could not keep up with her. Zoe's red hair gleamed in the sunlight as she led the way down the path. I'm going back to Nana's house, Lucas said after a while. She's expecting us for dinner. When they got to Nana's, they all left their bikes on the walkway and headed toward the house. Hey, let's go in the backyard, shouted Zoe as she picked up a small shovel from the porch. Everyone ran around the garage to the backyard, but Zoe got there first. When she saw the soft garden dirt, she immediately sat down and started digging. Emma ran up to Zoe. You can't dig in the garden, Emma commanded. Why not? It's just dirt, Zoe replied. It's not just dirt, said Lucas, coming around the corner. There are things under the ground. Like what? Asked Zoe. Bugs, worms, and treasures, answered Zoe. That got Dylan's attention. What kind of treasures can you find in the ground? He asked, frowning as he brushed his brown hair out of his eyes. I found a silver ring, said Emma, and Lucas found a red bottle cap yesterday. There could even be bits of gold under the ground from people who lived there long ago. Convinced there would be more treasures waiting, Dylan picked up Grandpa's shovel from the bench and started digging. He stuck his hand in the hole and said with delight, "Come and look, there's something in here." "What does it feel like?" asked Emma. "It's hard and smooth," Dylan explained, "with bumps on the end." "Maybe it's a dinosaur bone," offered Lucas excitedly. "Let me see," said Zoe as she pushed Dylan aside and stuck her hand deep into the hole. She quickly jerked her hand back. "It's the arm of a giant," she yelled. "Relax," Zoe said. "Emma, your imagination is running away with you." Just then, Pepper, the little black Cocker Spaniel, came running into the garden. He jumped up and down as he licked Emma's face. Pepper stuck his nose in the hole and started digging as fast as he could. Zoe saw something white. Emma saw round ends that were brown with dirt. Pepper pushed his nose back into the hole. He lifted his head, shook his long ears, and ran away with a huge bone. It was so big, the little dog could hardly hold it in his mouth. They all laughed as Pepper sprawled out on the grass and slowly chewed his bone. Zoe felt something else under the dirt. She dug deeper. Startled, she said, "I see something moving." Everyone gathered around. "What is it?" asked Lucas. Zoe pulled out a big, fat, slimy worm. "Yuck," said Dylan. "Squish it." Worms are very important in the garden," said Lucas. "They make the dirt loose so the roots can grow deep. Grandpa says worms work hard so the soil is healthy and the plants can grow. The worm poop adds nutrients to the dirt for the vegetables." "Nutrients in worm poop?" asked Dylan. "Sounds gross." "Nana says nutrients are vitamins and minerals you need to be strong and healthy. The plants need water, sun, and soil that is full of nutrients," said Lucas. "You don't need to dig to find worms," Emma said, as she picked a big green worm off the top of a leaf. "This one is bad for the garden," she said. "It's a tomato hornworm. It eats tomatoes faster than we can." "Look out," Zoe yelled to Emma. "There's a big green worm crawling on your head." Emma squealed and Zoe laughed so hard she fell on the ground. And as she got up, she pulled on the small plant growing next to her. "What is that?" "I think you probably know what that is." "Oops," she said, as the plant came right out of the ground, roots and all. The plant was green on top and purple underneath. "What's this?" Zoe asked. "A purple carrot," said Lucas. "Look," exclaimed Emma. "I'm a purple carrot with roots that go deep in the ground. I can stand very tall and still." Everyone tried to stand taller than Emma, but she was the tallest. In fact, you can even do this with the vegetable kids as you read the story. Stand very tall and firm like a carrot. Zoe could hardly sit still. She smiled and jumped up. "I like to run races and perform. I'm a dancer," she said as she did a twirl on one foot. She took Dylan by the hand and they danced around the patio singing, "I'm a pepper, I'm a pepper." "What about me?" asked Lucas. "You are like a green bean. See how the beans grow tall and wide and twist this way and that? That's like you, Lucas. You are always asking questions and thinking about so many different things. You like to stand apart from the rest of us," Emma said. Lucas stood back from the group and stretched his arms as wide as they would go. And he says, "I'm a green bean that is 4 feet wide and 4 feet tall." He stretched so far, he bumped into Emma and almost knocked her over. When Dylan reached over to pick one tomato from a vine, he got a bunch instead. "Why can't I pick just one?" "Tomatoes like to stick together," said Emma. "When Nana makes sauce, she adds tomatoes to blend the flavors together. Tomatoes make everything better, just like you, Dylan." Dylan brought everyone together. He raised his arms and they swayed like a tomato plant in the breeze. Come on, everybody, sway, he said. They all raised their arms high and moved together. Then a gust of wind hit them as they swayed to the left, and they laughed and fell into a big group hug. Lucas heard Nana call, "Let's make pizza. Your friends can stay for dinner." Lucas didn't want to eat the carrots, so Nana blended them into her delicious homemade pizza sauce. Emma wanted tomato and spinach salad, and they all liked the yellow peppers. They each got to make their own pizza. Emma, Lucas, Dylan, and Zoe had fun adding purple onions, green bell peppers, and turkey pepperoni. "What's for dessert?" asked Lucas. "Popsicles," said Nana, of course. Nana didn't tell them the secret to her delicious popsicles was the blended vegetables mixed with yogurt. The kids went outside to play Simon Says while Nana baked the pizzas. When Nana finished cooking, she opened the door and called loudly, "Time to eat." "Simon Says, let's go inside," yelled Dylan. "I'm hungry," said Zoe as they all ran to the table. "Where can I sit?" asked Lucas with a frown. Grandpa found 2 more chairs and they all sat down to eat. "Let's have a prayer," said Grandpa. Emma said, "Thank you, God, for this food from the garden." "And for all our friends," Dylan added. Lucas, Emma, Zoe, and Dylan dove into the pizza and popsicles. And that's the end of the story. But you know, there are some real fun things at the end of this story too, like some interesting facts. Did you know you can brush your teeth with celery? Eating celery helps clean your teeth after a meal. So you might think about taking a piece of celery in your lunchbox to brush your teeth after lunch.
That is a great idea. Vegetables are so yummy and so good for you.
Yes.
I enjoyed that book. Thank you for sharing it. What is the most important thing that you want the kiddos and their parents to remember from your book?
That it's fun to plant plants in the garden, and it's very fun to go out and pick fresh vegetables from the garden. They are the best. I didn't even know how great vegetables were until I picked them right out of the garden. They're sweeter and more delicious, and how we can all work together with our own unique personalities. Just like we need all the vegetables in the garden, we need all our different personalities.
That is a great lesson, and thank you for sharing it. We all are unique, and we all are special, and we all bring to our family and to our community our specialness. And
Yes.
it's important to remember that everybody has a role to play, everybody's important, and that when we share ourselves with each other, that we make our community and our family a better place. Just like in the vegetable garden, you need all those different vegetables. We need all the different people that are in our world, in our community, and in our lives. So what a great lesson. Where can the kiddos, because I know mom and dad are going to want to buy them that book, where can they find that book?
They can find it at all the major retailers, Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And also, if you go to my website, vegetable-kids.com, hopefully you can see that, getting it in the picture. And you can find more books, the ebook, Vegetable Personality Styles, more activities, recipes, and special offers, because I also have the book in hardcover and ebook. And I have these special vegetable cards that show why you want to eat each vegetable. And on the back, you have a list of vegetables from each color. You can even take these to the grocery store with you and make sure you have all the colors in your basket. And then, you know, on the website, I show some different ways to have fun eating vegetables. So I think fun vegetables, being healthy, and appreciating the different personalities and strengths of everybody. So yeah.
What great ideas. And I am delighted that there are so many places where we can find your book, and we can go to your website, and can we buy your book directly off your website as well?
Yes, yes. Thank you for mentioning that. I will have this book for sale on my website, and in the back, you'll have the cards with it. So the cards come with it, and all printed out nicely, easy to handle. And you can get a signed book with the cards on my website. If you buy the book, or if you mention this video, then I can send you these or email them to you that you can print yourself if you sign up for my email list, which you'll get more special offers and recipes and things.
And also, if you go to Hearts Like Kids, there is a coloring page that will be on my book or on my website that you can download. And I will also put this information with that coloring page so that you can remember how to get to Nancy's website and get those cards and get that book. What a lot of great freebies you have, Nancy.
Oh, we do. We
that.
even have keychains that, you know, we can send you the little cards if you like that, and just lots of fun stuff. We're going to get a website for some of these things too.
Exciting! Yay!
So he can, my 4-year-old grandson heard this story and he said, "I'm a green bean." I thought that was
Awesome.
exciting.
Yes, kids. Why don't you get mom and dad to send me your email and tell me what kind of a vegetable you are, because I would like to hear what kind of a vegetable you are. And I'll have to think about what kind of a vegetable I am, and I'll be putting that on Hearts Like Kids at the end of this movie, what kind of a vegetable Dr. Jonette is. So thank you, Nancy.
That was a very good book, Giver. What kind of a vegetable are you? Oh, I love carrots, and I think I would be a carrot because I like to stand tall and strong just like a carrot. Yes, you would be a carrot, I think. And boys and girls, what kind of vegetables would you be? If you want, send Dr. Jonette what type of vegetable you are to heartslikekids.com, where kids shine bright. See you next week on Hearts Like Kids. Bye!
You bet. Bye, kids. Everybody.